Welcome to the Good Morning from the Chicken Coop podcast with Kim Johnson, your creative strategist and master mindset coach. Filled with inspiration, distinctions, perspectives, and possibilities, we help you to cultivate a mindset that leads you to create the best version of yourself you could ever imagine. Join Kim every morning from one of her favorite happy places, her chicken coop, along with all her chickens.
Hey, good morning, my friends. So today we are continuing our series on stress, and today it's all about sleep. Boy, is this not one of the toughest things when you are stressed, how you don't sleep. And sleep is such a fundamental part of our well-being. It's such a fundamental part of everything about us that we can't, as a human being, we just can't not sleep. We cannot decide, I'm just not going to sleep and I'm going to be fine. In fact, there is study after study after study that show the detrimental effects of lack of sleep and how you can actually get to the point where you hallucinate because you are so deprived of what your body needs to heal. Because honestly, sleep is something that heals our body and takes the time to put us in a state of, it's actually an altered state when you really come right down to it. Sleep is an altered state. And we are able to go regenerate ourselves. Our body regenerates, our energy regenerates. On a cellular level, we're regenerating ourselves. So what's so important to remember is if you are not sleeping and you are ignoring this in your life in general, you need to get help with this because you are vastly underestimating the effects it has on you. Your hormone levels on a very basic human function level, it's destroying you. And if you are not sleeping, you truly do need to get help with it. Whatever kind of help that may be, you seek out a doctor, you find out, you seek out someone that can help you meditate. There are lots and lots of different ways to handle it. Now today I'm going to discuss some of the more natural ways to handle it because that tends to be my way of doing things. And I like to teach you guys what works for me. And what I will say, if you are in a chronic state of sleep deprivation and you cannot get it handled, you definitely need to have medical help for it because it is fundamental to your well-being, and don't ignore it. Now, that being said, okay, my type of handling this comes back to, again, very organic ways of doing things and looking at things and saying, okay, well, first and foremost, it is never a great idea to go to sleep watching the news, watching something scary, doing things that are scary movies, things that you know will trigger your lack of focus on sleep. If you get overstimulated before you go to bed, playing video games, horrible to do. If your children play video games before they go to bed, even studies show that even within an hour and a half of going to bed, 90 minutes of going to bed, they can be detrimental to the child's sleep. Not to mention other things, and that's a whole different podcast subject. However, video games, no bueno, not a good idea. And that goes for the ones on your phone, my friends, because I can't tell you how many of my clients will say, well, I don't play video games. Well, I guess I kind of do a little bit on my phone. If you're on your phone and you're messing around with it before you go to bed, don't. Your phone technically should not even be in your room. It should be out of your room so that you're, one, not getting the EMF waves, but two, just having it there is anxiety for so many people in itself, just having the phone there. So ditch the phone if you can. Now, full disclosure, I sleep with the phone in my room because my daughter doesn't live with us, and if she has an emergency, I want to be able to answer that phone. But I don't have it within a reach of me immediately, and I don't play with it. It's there. If she calls a couple of times, the phone will click over and it will unlock and let me know she needs me. But that's the only reason it's there. Otherwise, it's silenced. So understand those little triggers before you go to bed. The other thing, drinking coffee all day long, drinking anything that has caffeine in it all day long, not a good idea for getting ready. Even if it's late in the afternoon, you're having coffee, that's going to cause you an issue when it comes to being able to sleep at night. So you have to look at that and say, okay, I've got to start putting stuff in place that allows me to be able to sleep. And you have an intention of being able to sleep. I can tell you right now, sleep is a very important thing to me, and I have it all lined up. I make my bed every day, one, because it feels great to have the accomplishment in the old Marine way of having a bed done, but two, it also feels great when you get into bed and it's neat and you can relax. I make sure I have, the covers exactly the way I want them. I am ultimately looking forward to going to sleep. If you're not looking forward to going to sleep, you have to question, what's the reason I'm not looking forward to this? Is it because you already plan on the fact you're going to struggle not sleeping? Because if that's the case, we already know what the problem is. You're anticipating not sleeping, therefore you won't sleep. A lot of my clients that struggle with this, I will suggest they use hypnotherapies, meaning you can get an audio that is a guided meditation that talks to you about relaxation and sleep. And they really do work. I can promise you, they really do work. You just have to do them. And repetition is the mother of skill. So listening over and over and over to the same one is not a bad thing. So many people worry about this and they say, well, I've listened to that so many times. Yeah, there's a reason, because once we know things, we know them and they become part of us. Just like you understand multiplication. I mean, how many times have we all done the multiplication tables in our lives? Yet, we don't seem to mind that because we knew that there was an outcome of memorizing them. So this is the same thing with doing meditations like this. You memorize them and it will help you go to sleep. And thirdly, you've got to be hydrated to sleep well. I don't care what anybody tells you. If you're dehydrated, you don't sleep well because your body is constantly seeking out hydration, and it's constricting because it doesn't have enough hydration. So all these little pieces you have to try first. And if you do that and then they still don't work, it's one of those things where you can say, okay, now I know I've tried all these other things and I definitely need some help. Now, again, one of the biggest things is someone says, well, I'm going to watch something before they go to bed. And I myself, we do this, okay? I want full disclosure. We have an iPad, we'll watch something, but I will not watch things that disturb me. In fact, just the other day, we ended up watching a movie that my son picked, and it was late in the afternoon on Sunday. It wasn't even close to going to bed, but I watched it, and it haunted me all night. And then the next day, my husband actually said to me, that movie really bothered me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And it was hours and hours before we went to go to bed, and it still got to us. So the effects are real. Be advised, keep on it, and put yourself in a place to win with this. At least try these steps and see if this helps to reduce it, because immediately, as soon as you get some rest, stress goes down. So hopefully this was helpful, my friends, and we will continue this tomorrow. I will see you then. Have a great day. Bye.